So in this video we're going to talk about cash vouchers, in particular the OneLink cash voucher, which gives your recipient the choice between post office and PayPoint. The amounts that we have are between £5 and £100. £100 is going to be the top amount that we'll be able to do for this one because that is the PayPoint limit. If you want to send a higher amount though, you can if you want to go for just a post office cash voucher. Actually goes up to £300. The PayPoint cash voucher on its own goes up to 100, and there are lots of smaller denominations in here if that's helpful. And the ATM cash voucher, which is all the pin for cash ATMs, and there's a link here so you can put in your address and work out where the nearest one is. That goes all the way up to 500. So if you want higher amounts of cash, send one of these individual cash vouchers to your recipients. If you want to give them the choice between post office or PayPoint and go up to 100, this is a great option for you if you're not sure which one they'll want to use. Like with all the other vouchers, we would choose an amount and go next. And you can write your message in here. Whatever you want to write in there is fine. Your organisation name will be there instead of mine. And then we go to the next page. So all the same options are there for you. You could send a printable letter for this, but bear in mind they'll still have to use a phone to scan the QR code or type in the code to choose between post office and PayPoint. So this is not a voucher you'd want to send to someone who isn't digitally able. There are other guides and videos to help you with those, and just reach out if you're struggling with that kind of thing. But let's say we're sending a digital version of this, so it's email or it's text, and we'll go email and then pop in an email address. There we go, and you can put your notes in there. That can be anything you want. It could be an address, a name, a case number, anything that makes sense to you in your reporting in the back end. And then we go next. This is just like sending any other voucher, and we're going to pick a date by which we want them to have taken action. So they need to have claimed this voucher within 14 days or 3 months or a custom date that we pick. Let's say it's 2 days in this case. And if they haven't, by that date, the money goes back into your pot. Cash and energy vouchers do have fees attached to them, and if you need to know what those fees are, just ask. And so when you send this voucher, it incurs a fee. But the money, say you've sent a £50 voucher, if they don't claim it, the £50 will go back into your wallet, but the fee still exists because it's been sent, so we at Hub get charged for that, so you would get charged. Okay, so then we go and we review and pick your last code if you've got any of these set up. You can set those up on the Teams page. And save in draft. You could download a pro forma invoice if you need an invoice or a receipt, or you just pay. And now let's have a look at that from the recipient's perspective. We go to voucher history. Okay, so on the voucher history page, we can see that here's our voucher that we just sent. Here's our link at the top. OneLink cash, £5. Order date, expiry date, it's been sent. It hasn't been opened yet, and it hasn't been redeemed yet. So you can see those status details. And if I scroll along, there's a bit more information about who sent it and our reason code. So if I then copy this link, and that's the same for every single voucher you ever send, you can always copy the link there, jump into a new tab and paste it, and we can see what the recipient's seeing. And you can click through. If they've already redeemed it, by the way, this is also how you would see what choices they made out of, say, a supermarket or any other retailer or the cash voucher. And if we click voucher details here, this is how they would redeem it. So the recipient will see this on their phone probably. They can see what it is. It can be used to redeem £5 cash from either a post office or PayPoint store, but they need to make the choice. So the first thing they can do is locate the nearest branch by clicking on these links. So here's the post office branch locator. They put their postcode there, or a street name, or the town. Same for the PayPoint one. There it is. Maybe based on that they'll make their choice. Which retailer would you prefer? We can go post office or PayPoint. Let's have a look at post office. Perfect for claiming cash from the post office. And there's another chance here to find the nearest post office retailer. That takes them to the branch locator. They could have another look and then actually change their mind and go back and choose PayPoint. And again here, there's another chance to look for the nearest PayPoint retailer, and they may just go ahead and choose that. Let's say that we're going to stick with PayPoint this time. There's a little point here that stops them in case they're not certain, because you can't undo this step. So after this point they can't go back and choose post office, but they can claim that now. Tells them when the link's going to expire, and they can click for the voucher, and there it is. And they'll just have that on their phone. They can walk into any PayPoint retailer, show it to the person at the till, and they will get cash. A couple of things to mention. Let's just go back to the page where the cash options are. You may want to send post office if you think, well, firstly, if there aren't many PayPoint retailers around, or if you're sending a lot of them, you might just want to send post office on its own. Reason being, if you send thousands to the same town, and people are going to be picking PayPoint retailers are just ordinary shops. They may not have enough money in the till, whereas post office don't run out of money. So just something to consider there. The fees for these are going to be the same as post office or PayPoint fees, which are both the same if you've been using them already. If you need to ask about fees, just let us know. And the other thing to mention is if you don't have access to this yet, just ask the support team, support@hug.me, or you can ask your account manager, and we may need to send you an approval form if your organisation hasn't been approved for post office or PayPoint cash. If you've got access to both post office and PayPoint, you can also have access to OneLink cash. Just ask if you have any questions, and I hope that this is really helpful for you to support your community. Thanks very much.